Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's Ariel Boutique. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to join my family. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome, lovies. I'm glad to see you're back. Make sure you comment down below and thumbs up this video. Also, I will be doing my labor and delivery video today. So, just grab your snacks and get you settled in on your couch, anywhere your bed, anywhere. Because this will be an interesting one. So, I actually had 2 baby showers lined up. The first one was on June 7th, 2020, and the second one was on the 8th. Yeah, I was very fortunate to have 2 people throw baby showers for me. The first one was my mom. She went all out. It was a beautiful baby shower, and a lot of people came to support me and my little baby. And I appreciate everybody that came, and it just was a blessing to have everybody there and of support, especially in times like these. So I went to go spend the night at my mom's house on the 6th. There was no any indication of like anything being wrong within my pregnancy. Like prior to like a week before the baby shower, I had went and got tested for preeclampsia 4 different times. Not because they said that they were going to test me, but because I forced the issue because I knew something was wrong. I wasn't feeling the baby move. I wasn't feeling the baby move, and I went to the hospital like 6 different times because the baby wasn't moving. Then they monitored him and kept us there for quite some time. They didn't keep me. They sent me home, and they just told me if I see any like this video will be a little TMI too. If I see any like discharge, like any blood or anything, or was having more cramps, to come back in. But I kept telling them I was having cramping, I wasn't feeling the baby move. Anyway, so they sent me home, and then I went back right before the baby shower. And so that's where they did a catheter. So they had me all kind of messed up. So they did 2 catheters in one day, and I'm like, dude, like, get it together. You don't need to do all that to me. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, let me do the catheter to you. So anyway, they were like, this is the only way we could test. And I'm like, okay, let me man up real quick, because I'm about to be somebody's mama, and I can't be out here acting like a punk. So I just sat there, and I had a really good nurse. She held my hand, because it was like, I don't know if they were being rough or what, but it was painful. So they did the catheter. She said everything was fine, and they sent me back home, like, whatever. That was the 4th test I had. But I still wasn't feeling well. I felt horrible. I felt sluggish, and I just something didn't feel right. And I wasn't really feeling the baby move no more. I couldn't even sleep at this point. And so I went to the baby shower. Oh, I had the baby shower, and then the next day at the baby shower, I got so swollen, like so swollen. My face, my feet, everything got so swollen. I'll try to insert pictures of what I mean by how swollen I got. And normally I'm pretty small, like I'm not that big, so you wouldn't be able to tell if I got swollen just whether I gained weight or it's just from the baby. But it was like my feet were so swollen, like some sausages. You can pop it with like a needle. It was just horrible. Like it hurt. It hurt really bad. It was just painful. But then everybody's like, no, that's just pregnancy swelling. Keep in mind, I was 32 weeks. So, I went home, still didn't feel good. I was super tired, super weak, and just felt drained. I just didn't feel good. I just didn't feel good at all. I feel like something was so wrong. So I proceeded to go to my in-laws' baby shower. That's the second person who threw me a baby shower. My in-laws, my husband's parents. So I went to their baby shower, and I just felt off, and I didn't really feel good. We were late because I didn't know if I could make it. I just really didn't feel good. I told my husband, like, I don't think I could make it to the baby shower. Like, you gonna have to just go without me, or, send my regards, or let them know, like, just let them know I didn't feel good. Can they kind of be my presence? But that didn't work. That wasn't here nor there. So I got ready. Waiting for my husband to get off work. So then I got ready, and I went with him to the baby shower, and I went through the baby shower. I still didn't feel that good, so good thing it kind of ended early because we came late. So by the time we got home, I just didn't feel. I told my husband I was seeing spots, so he took me to the hospital, where they monitored me and the baby. The baby wasn't moving. I still didn't feel good. I kept telling them I was swollen. They were like, no, you're not swollen. There's nothing wrong with you. did another catheter again. Like, come on, dude. Like, come on. Like, it's like you just love giving people catheters. Like, what is wrong with you? And then they act like I want to be at the hospital during the middle of a pandemic. Like, I don't have time to be here either. I don't like seeing you just as much as you don't like seeing me, honey. So, shoot. They did the catheter. Didn't come back. I had preeclampsia, nothing. So they sent me home. The next day, I felt so crazy. I had to call my husband from work, and he was like, I called him from work, and the earliest he could come home is like 5 o'clock. So he got off work at 5 o'clock. He rushed home, and I felt like I was gonna pass out. Like, I just felt like something was horribly wrong. I felt like I was spinning, my stomach was cramping, all these kind of things. So I went back to the hospital. They did another catheter. Oh my goodness! Like, come on now, you get a catheter, I get a catheter. Come on, like, come on. So they did another catheter, and it turned out I had preeclampsia with severe features. My blood pressure was through the roof. My blood pressure was 178 over 102. Ridiculous. My blood pressure ain't never been that high. I've never had blood pressure issues. It does run in my family, but me personally, I've never had that issue. I felt crazy. So they admitted me to the hospital and said that I was going to stay there until my due date. So I got admitted on June the 9th of 2020 officially, and they told me they were going to keep me till August 7th. So I was in the hospital no more than like a week, not even a week. I gave birth on June 13th, 2020. So the reason I was just in the room eating, and I thought everything was going to be okay. They kept asking me, am I having contractions? Am I having contractions? And I was thinking, lady, do you not see the screen? Yes, I'm having contractions, and maybe you should just look at the screen and do your job. I've been telling you, I've been feeling weird, and nothing has changed since I've been admitted here. They started me on a magnesium drip right when I was admitted, and they also gave me 2 shots of steroids to try to prevent the baby from coming. So I thought I was like, in the clear, and I told my husband, I'm just gonna stay here till the due date. I'm gonna have to tough it up. It's gonna be hard, but I'm a man up and do it. Whatever's gonna be best for him. Psych, like, that ain't what happened. So I was just chilling in my room on the 13th, eating my food, just kind of seeing the way things going. But the problem was they could not control my blood pressure. They had me on 3 different medications. They had me on the magnesium drip. They had me on labetalol, and they were giving me that 3 times, and one more other medication I forgot, just for my blood pressure alone, and it was just ridiculous. It just would not go down. And so they came in the room, and they were just like consulting with me, like, oh no, we can't wait. We have to get you into an emergency C-section. I said, well, can I take a shower? They were like, no, we have to get you in right now. I said, well, wait a minute, my husband's not here. They were like, how fast can you get here? And I'm like, well, I don't know, I have to call him. He's at work. So I had to call him, and he had to, like, pretty much leave his mail truck where it's at. He had to hurry up and tell his boss, like, I got to get out of here. My wife's about to have the baby. I'm about to miss it, because he was literally about to miss it. So, like, the lady started to shave me, and I just was trying to make up all kind of excuses, like, wait a minute, this ain't gonna work for me today. Like, I can't do this. Like, I was not planning in no way, shape, or form for a C-section. Didn't even know what to expect. Didn't even know how to feel about it. And I was just like, I felt so alone and just so scared, but I just sucked it up, and I just knew what was best for the baby, because at this point, I wasn't feeling him move, and I felt horrible, and I didn't think it was ever gonna end. So they rushed me into the C-section. Thank God my husband made it in time. So they didn't even have time for me to really sign anything. They put me in the room. They didn't even have time to really get a sterile room ready. So I was in there. They gave me the spinal block. I didn't feel anything. I was still on the magnesium drip. They had to react very quickly. My husband stood outside the door, and once they gave me the spinal, he was able to come in. So they had me laid out like I was laying with my arms up like an angel and my legs down, and I was wide awake, and they did not even give me the curtain option to where I could see through the curtain or even raise the baby up. So they pretty much did the C-section. They closed me up fairly quickly, and I barely heard a little faint cry, and then they rushed him out the room. I didn't even get a chance to see him. My husband got to see him. I just kept saying, is he out? Is he out? Is he out? can I see him? Can I see him? And he was like, no, they're almost done. They're almost done. And then like I felt so uncomfortable. I felt so much pressure when they were digging in to get the baby. And I was just like, are they done? Are they done? Are they done? He kept saying, they're stitching you up. They're stitching you up. They're closing you up. It's like, dude, you're going to need to stop saying that. You got to say something else, because I'm like trying to sit up. I don't like the way this feels. I feel like, you know, like something heavy's on me. I want to be done already. So, they finished up and everything, and they wheeled me into recovery. I'm not gonna lie, I was very much out of it because, again, I was on the magnesium. And it wasn't even the fact that I was put to sleep because I was wide awake. I was just like, I was exhausted from the whole thing. I hadn't slept in weeks because I was just feeling crazy with the preeclampsia symptoms and not even know what was going on, and just felt drained. And the funny thing is, I was so tired, like I fell asleep when they put me in the recovery room, but after that I didn't sleep the rest of my stay. But anyway, they wheeled the baby in the little incubator box, and they told me that he was not going to be able to stay at the hospital I was, because they needed a level 3 NICU, and they didn't have that there. So they took him to a different hospital, which really messed my head at the time because I felt so sad. I felt like everybody else got to have their baby with them, and once I came more conscious to what was going on, I realized I just gave birth and my child would not be staying with me. So it was really hard, especially during the pandemic. And then so after that, I went to my room, and I actually stayed in the hospital pretty much till June the 29th. So I was in the hospital pretty much the whole month of June. And I stayed all that extra time because they still couldn't get my blood pressure under control even after the baby was delivered. I actually came home and my blood pressure was still pretty high. I was struggling. But I was able to produce breast milk right away. So I was able to send milk through my husband to the other hospital. They let him leave to go to the other hospital to give the milk to the baby in the NICU. And he was 3 pounds 8 ounces. So teeny, so precious. Like, I swear. Like, it's amazing how God works, because he couldn't even breathe on his own when he came in this world. That's why they didn't let me see him or didn't let me hold him before they took him to the NICU. And the NICU story was just, that was a whole nother mess, how they acted at the NICU. They would, anyway, so I was still in the hospital while we both were fighting together. He was fighting at one hospital, I was fighting at another, fighting to get to him. So when I finally was released from the hospital, I was released with like 12 different medications, because I'm still on all the blood pressure medications. I was on an iron supplement, also a stool softener, also it was a couple of things. I can't remember all this time because my mind's wandering. But oh, pain medicine too. And so when I got to the hospital, I ain't gonna lie to you, I stopped taking my pain medicine 2 days after. Because I thought I could do it, but I never knew what to expect from a C-section. I thought I was going to be back into my regular routine like nothing. Didn't happen. Let me tell you that. It didn't happen. They say only lift your baby weight. Well, considering a carton of eggs is 2 pounds, a little carton of eggs is 2 pounds. My baby was 3 pounds 8 ounces. So I'm like, okay, I could lift him, but I wasn't expecting, you know, what transpired after the fact. So yeah, it was just an interesting journey. And then I battled with my blood pressure till I was 5 months postpartum. My blood pressure would still get up to like 160 something, and it was very scary because my husband would be at work, and I just started feeling crazy and lightheaded and start seeing spots again. And then it was one time I thought I was dying, like I thought I was having a heart attack, and I had to get rushed to the hospital through the ambulance. And they told me that I need to take it easy and that I need to control my stress and also take my medicine like I'm supposed to, which I was, because I am too young to have a heart attack, which who wants to hear that? Like, come on now. I thought you said, you people tricked me. For one, you didn't tell me I had preeclampsia till it was too late. For two, you told me that it would go away after I gave birth, and it didn't. So, honey, get your life together, because y'all full of lies. So, yeah, it was just one big hot mess. And I thought it was pretty ironic, my whole birth story, just because I'm my mom's youngest child. I'm her only girl, and she had me around 28, 27. She had preeclampsia with me and didn't know it till she got to the hospital, and they actually flew her in a helicopter from Oakland to Berkeley for me to be born, and I weighed 2 pounds 13 ounces. Isn't that ironic? And then I told the doctor, I said, is that going to be a factor? Like early on in my pregnancy, I said, is this going to be a factor because I was born early at 2 pounds 13 ounces? Is that going to have anything to do with me having a baby early just because maybe something didn't develop all the way with me that my body wouldn't withstand a full-term pregnancy? And I was 32 weeks and 2 days when I gave birth. He was like, no, that's not it. And it's like, you lying about something, because every time I say something, you say everything's fine. But then they had me going to see a high-risk doctor. The high-risk doctor would say, oh, ask your OB, my OB didn't tell me nothing. So, overall, it was just very discouraging. And throughout my recovery journey, I had a rough journey because I actually ended up with 2 C-section infections. And the reason why that is because I was still suffering from my high blood pressure. Postpartum, I did care for myself when I came home from the hospital, and they did close my C-section with glue, so it was a lot harder to heal. And I was doing so much. I was cooking and cleaning for myself. I was going up to the NICU I was going to go visit the baby at the NICU. I was pumping breast milk. And I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but when you have to get up constantly and you're bending and moving and doing all this kind of stuff, and even when you're showering just to be careful and everything else like that, and you're kind of learning what to do, especially not knowing going into a C-section what could be like the outcome of the aftermath of how to like maneuver your body once again, it felt like my ribs were out of place. It took me a while to feel like, I could sit up on my own. I used to wear a belly binder. I don't know why I stopped, because now I'm getting like a flupa, whatever they call it, but it's not cute, and I don't think I like it. But trust me, honey, I'm gonna get it together. So I was dealing with all that, and I got a C-section infection, and it was horrible. I felt horrible, and then I went to go to the OB. They wouldn't listen to me, and they didn't listen to me until it got worse, till it opened up and started leaking something. And I was showing them like, look, it's open, but because I have such melanin in my skin, they couldn't see the difference because, they don't have melanin, honey. They don't have nada. So, I guess they were confused. Anywho, so I just stayed on top of it because I knew that it was going to be just like when I warned them about me having preeclampsia. I didn't want them to fail me again. So, they waited till it got really worse. They decided to give me antibiotics. That turns out the antibiotics, I was allergic to the antibiotics. So then I called them in an emergency case. They told me to take an allergy pill, and they were going to send me new antibiotics to the pharmacy. Again, I took another antibiotic. I was allergic to that one as well. It's like, wow, my luck during the pandemic, all this, it's just a mess. So, yeah, and then I was allergic to that one. So I took 2 antibiotics, and I was allergic to both of them. And then the third one I wasn't allergic to, so it did work. And then the infection went away. The baby was still in the NICU. And then again, I ended up with a second infection, but this time it was so swollen and red and inflamed. I think what happened was the first time it was getting worse, and they couldn't keep track of how worse it was getting, so they would only give me enough antibiotics for 10 days, and they weren't keeping track like they were supposed to. So I took it, and then it didn't clear up all the infection. I think that's what happened, and why I got the second infection. And that was right before the baby came home from the NICU, so I'm still struggling caring for myself and trying to get up to the NICU, get him breast milk, and all they're telling me is he needs more milk, and he's doing great, and that's all I wanted to hear. But yeah, that was my birth story. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. Drop a comment down below with little hearts. If there's anything else you'd like to hear from me, just let me know. Like, for instance, if you would like to know my son's journey in the NICU. Also, he did have a couple of pre-existing conditions from his birth. Like, he was on the bubble pap when he was first born, so he couldn't breathe on his own. Also, he had a feeding tube. He has acid reflux. He also has a personal issue that I don't want to discuss necessarily right now. He has eczema and dermatitis. He has severe eczema and dermatitis. He has asthma. He has allergies. A few things, but he's a very strong baby. He's so happy. He's so loving. And look at me. Would you be able to tell that I was born 2 pounds 13 ounces? I mean, yeah, I'm skinny, but overall, I did fairly well, and I think that he will too. He's such a strong little person. Such a beautiful little man. Yeah. I'll see you in my next video.